Hey everybody, today's mini lesson is going to be on Andy McCoy. He's the lead guitar player for Hanoi Rocks. I had a request to do a mini lesson on him, and his style is kind of in the same vein as Johnny Thunder's, kind of glam rock. So I figured it'd be good kind of lesson following up on those Johnny Thunder's lessons I did. Most of it's going to be based on this record, the Bangkok Shocks. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a common rhythm technique that Andy McCoy does with these palm mutes. A lot of times the Hanoi Rocks will play open chords and then they will follow it up with some like palm mutes. So this is kind of similar to the style that he does. And everything in this lesson today is going to be in E. And again, as usual, the tab will be up on the website when I'm done. So again, so basically you're just kind of palm muting twice, and then you're playing the chord. And then Hanoi Rocks tends to do this kind of like in a descending scale, and then they kind of move back up. You can play it like whatever sounds good in your rhythm. So again, real slow, it's and you can play that like basically the way I'm playing it just now is the 2 palm mutes and 1 open chord, and you can play it 2 palm mutes, 2 open chords. So like that would sound like, or you could just do it with 1 open chord. And that's something that Hanoi Rocks uses in a lot of their songs to kind of be a nice transition between like the verse chorus or parts of the verse between loud and soft parts too. Then getting to Andy McCoy's lead style, very derivative of Johnny Thunder's, and kind of blues based, a lot of minor scales. So this first thing I'll show you is something he does a lot, and this is with these 2-note kind of bends. So I'll just show you what it sounds like. And you can do that anywhere in the scale. So like this will be based on the E minor pentatonic, and you can take 2 notes on adjacent strings. So for this example, I'm playing the 14th fret on the G string and the 15th fret on the B string, and you're just going to bend both of those together. So actually I'm bending the G string. And it kind of creates this cool, like, I don't know, bluesy kind of sound. You can also do it on the 12th fret, so the scale would have 2 notes on the 12th fret on the G and B string. So you can play it with 2 fingers, or you can play it with 1 finger and just kind of bend it. And you can add combinations of that. You can go. But a typical spot is this position in the E scale. So again, the part that's kind of similar to something Andy McCoy would play is something like this. So real slowly it's. Another thing that Andy McCoy does in his leads is play in the E natural minor scale, or actually it's the natural minor scale. In this case we're going to be doing it in E, and it just kind of adds a different feel to the leads. So I'll play something similar to what he would play, and then I'll just break down the different elements. So without getting too in-depth, the main noticeable things that you can do in that natural minor scale is add those little like hammer-on pull-offs. And so like taking the E scale, for example, we're going to do that hammer-on pull-off on the 12th and 13th fret of the B string. and then you can go down to the 14th fret of the G string. And then there's another one of those kind of half-step hammer-ons on the high E string between the 14th and 15th fret, so you can go. And then kind of adding it together, it gives it kind of a cool feel. And then the rest of that scale, I mean, you can play the different half steps throughout that scale, but the rest of the scale you can kind of mix with the minor pentatonic, and then but add in those accent spots. So. And it gives it kind of a different feel, mixes it up from just playing like a standard minor pentatonic. One last thing that Andy McCoy does, he does in a lot of the songs, is this fun kind of little blues-based progression. Starts off, we're going to do an E, so we'll start off with our hammer-on from the 7th to 8th fret on the G string, and then you're going to hit the 7th fret on the high E string. So. And then we're just going to bring that up to the 10th fret, which is the next note in the E scale, since we're doing this in E. And then we're going to move it up one more time to the 12th fret. So we're going to go again. One more time. And then putting it all together in a similar style that Andy McCoy would play is. One last time. And that's just something, you know, you can kind of throw in there. It's a good fill. You can play it at any scale. Just remember that you want to play your progression along the notes of the scale on the high E string. So if you're playing like a D scale, you want to play the notes along that you would normally play as root notes along the low E or the high E. They're the same thing along the D string. So along the 10th fret, and you move it up along the notes of the scale. The tab for this stuff will be up on the website. If you really like this video, hit the like button and remember to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.